Sarah is in Washington, D.C. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the EntreLeadership Podcast.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My parents own 3 daycare centers. Combined, they have a gross revenue of about $3 million and roughly 55 employees.
3 bakeries?
Daycare centers.
Daycare centers. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little deaf. Okay. 3 daycare centers and $3 million.
Yes.
Okay.
They're going to be retiring this coming spring, and my husband and I are going to be buying them out through owner financing. And we're thinking it's going to be a 2-phase process. First, the business portion, and then second, buying the real estate, and that it could take 6 to 10 years to do the whole thing. So how do we structure the buyout so that my husband and I are protected if something catastrophic were to happen to them in the process?
To them?
Right.
Who are their heirs?
Myself and my 4 siblings.
Okay. So if you have a note that you owe your mom and dad, that note is part of the estate. The heirs don't have the right to call the note. They would just be receiving whatever payments you had promised to your parents.
To them. Okay.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Don't make it a standard note.
Okay.
Make your payout based on profits, not
Right.
based on interest rates.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so what's the net profit of the whole operation annually?
About $400,000.
And what's the price on this?
We haven't settled totally yet, but I think it'll be between $1.5 to $2 million. That's just the business.
That's
and then
pretty
the real
steep.
estate. Okay.
It's probably worth about 1.6.
Okay.
You need to look at the valuation on that. About 4 times net is about all I'm going to pay for it. Maybe 5. But that makes it $2 million. Okay, so here's how the formula would work in either case. You guys are working there now?
No, neither of us are.
Oh, what do you make at are you going to be working there when you buy it?
I'll be making about $150,000. My husband, he won't be an employee of the business.
But you'll be working at the daycare making $150,000.
Correct.
Okay, who makes that now?
So my mom, except that she makes significantly more than that.
Okay.
Okay.
So the $400,000 includes her making significantly more than that, or
no? We adjusted that already for a reasonable salary
of $150. So with $150 as the only salary, mom not getting anything, then there's $400.
Correct.
Proper adjustment. Good. Well done. Okay, it's exactly what I would have told you to do. Now, so you're a step ahead of me on that. Now, so then we establish the value, and then if you're making $150 and it's netting $400, I'm going to give them the lion's share of that $400 until we get to their number.
Okay.
In other words, it might sound like the note states we're going to pay you 80. I'll just use a number: 80% of net profits with you making $150. 80% of net profits. 20% going into retained earnings, the other 80% go to them until you hit the $1,750,000 number or whatever the number is.
Okay.
And so if you throw 300 years, so in like 3 or 4 years, it's paid out.
Right. Okay.
And then the real estate deal, what I would do with it is a lease, a long-term lease, like a 10-year or a 15-year, or 3 5 years, and a 5 with 2 5 options. That kind of thing, with an option to purchase at a set price anytime during that.
Got it. Okay.
And so what do you think those buildings are all worth as an example, that real estate deal?
There's 4 of them, and we think combined it'll be between $2 and $3 million.
Okay. All right. Let's just, so you say, all right, we're going to establish the value at $2.5 million on the real estate. Anytime in the next 15 years, we can write you a check for that.
And we set the price for that today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Because I bought a building that way and it wasn't a relative. Okay. We had a 10-year lease, but 5 years on the 10-year lease, I had the option to purchase it for $5 million, which was its value at the time I moved into it. 5 years later, I purchased it for $5 million in cash because I scratched the $5 million together, which is what you're going to do during this 10 or 15-year plan, okay? you're going to first pay out them, and then you're going to pile up cash and write them a check for the real estate as fast as possible. So you own the real estate free and clear. You own the business free and clear. Now you're going to be making bank.
Right.
And that's going to take you about 6 years probably to roll out of all of that. Anyway, by the time I closed on that building, it was worth $13 million, and I had it tied up at $5 million.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what you're going to do. And that's fair because you're running the building and leasing it. Because if you purchased it today on payments, that's what you would be doing. You'd be locking in the price. Instead, we're leasing it on payments with an option to purchase and locking in the price. So it has the same net effect to them of you having purchased it today.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That makes sense. And so if something happens to them during this whole process...
All of that's locked down. Your siblings don't have a choice. They have to abide by the deal.
Okay. And we just pay it to the estate.
Yeah, well, you pay it to the estate, and the siblings will split it, 5 ways? Is that, and you're one of them?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay.
Or if that's what the estate says to do. I don't know what your parents are doing with their money, but if they're going to split the estate 5 ways, so when you get ready to close on the lease payment would be split 5 ways each month until you close on the real estate, and you close on the real estate $2.5 million. Each person's going to get $500,000 if it's even, right?
Right.
At that time, and then they'll have their own issues with that. But and the same thing would be true of the profits on the first discussion we had until you get the payout done. But the notes all need to be drawn up in detail with an attorney and in the estate file. And oh, by the way, tell your brothers and sisters what the flip's going on.
Right.
Everybody, it's all cards face up. Everybody knows what's going on. So somebody isn't pissed off later. If they want to get pissed off, let them do it, mom and dad, now.
Right.
Like, where were they when you bought this? I mean, they didn't buy it.
Exactly, and they were all given the choice.
Okay, and they opted out. So instead, they're going to get the assets of the estate, which are notes from you.
Okay.
Leases and options and notes, but they're all based on profit. So if the quarantine hits because somebody wants to come around and shut your daycare down again, well, you don't have any profits. You don't have a note due unless there's profit. It doesn't run you out of business with this structure. And that's why it's the only way I can think of to finance a business, particularly with people you love, because you don't get in a problem situation then. So very good. It sounds like you guys are way down the road and you're using good discernment, good decisions. The brothers and sisters are in on it. Everybody knows what's going on. We're going to lay the whole thing out. It's going to be in detail. Make sure an attorney drafts the documents so that they survive your parents and are enforceable with your brothers and sisters in case one of them's wife or husband gets a wild hair and decides they want to try to undo everything. Because it's usually the wife or the husband. It's not the brother. What do I know? This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.